Morning folks, it's Monday the 6th of February. Now, I had a bit of a mad week last week and finished that off by working the weekend obviously. Now the smart move would be to take a day off, and yeah, maybe I should have taken today off, but I've got some things to do. I've got some things that are playing on my mind to plan for this coming week, and ultimately here I am, and we're just going to get them done. I've noticed that recently I've got into a habit of filming on a Friday when I'm doing like the track walks and stuff, and then uploading on a Friday night. So what am I doing differently this week? Well, it's Monday, and I'm going to film today, tomorrow, Wednesday, Thursday and Friday, then upload on Friday night and just see what sort of a story vlog wise that does, and suppose it gives you more of a look of my my Monday to Friday week. Anyway, so for today there's a little bit of planning to be done today. I don't need much in the way of tools to do this planning. So what have we got? We have an axe, that's my grandfather's old axe, my gloves, tape measure, notebook and pen. Pretty much everything we're going to need for today. Kind of against my better judgment, I find myself working today. The smart idea would probably be to have a day off, but I found myself lying in bed last night and I couldn't sleep. And you know, when you like your mind's going and you're thinking of things and stuff that you need to sort out. Why couldn't I sleep? Well, turn you around, because of this thing. The takeoff area up there, I've pretty much got sorted out, and I know what jobs need to be done, and I've pretty much got a methodology of sorted of how I'm going to do them, so that was okay. I wasn't worrying about that. What I was thinking about was the landing area, and I played over in my mind last night, and as I say, couldn't sleep. So I was like, woke up this morning, right, well, do you know what I'll do? I've got a plan for the takeoff. Let's get pen and paper out and draw up a plan for the landing. I quickly realised, put my teeth in, I quickly realised that in order to draw up a plan, I needed to know what materials I'm working with. Now, as I've mentioned in previous vlogs, I've got lots of half-fallen trees here, and I know a rough size of what I need to do with this, so I need to find out how much material I've got to build it, and then I can draw up a plan. So let's get some measuring done and some seeking out of materials. Right, well, that's a quick bit of measuring up done. I'm starting to feel better already. So what have we got here? Let me just get you in. So what have we got here? From the measuring up, we've got minimum, this is the middle landing on electric landlady, minimum size, 9 foot across, 4 foot wide, 18 foot long. It doesn't take a genius to realise that the 18 foot long sections are going to have to be tree trunks from some of these wind-blown trees. So the next part to go is to start thinking about the designs, and either ruling designs out or working towards one that might work. A quick one that I've just run through my head now is this bottom base here with the logs running down and being up on an A-frame here. That requires 12 across of 18 foot logs at least 9 inches wide, and then you can cover this platform with dirt. The issue that I've got is, one, have I got 12 18 foot, well, probably 18 foot's probably not difficult to get out of a wind-blown tree, but have I got 12 of them? And secondly, have you ever tried moving an 18 foot log on your own? These bad boys were 20 feet, and I moved 3 of them to here, and that was incredibly hard work. So I don't know if this is going to be viable. Might have to look at another solution, but it's early stages. So one of the main issues with these blown trees like this one here, I thought that, well, I didn't think, I hoped that this one might be okay, but you can see how it's so badly blown that most of its roots have come out. That means that it's not been able to feed properly and basically stay alive. So it's died, and that is like just minor hits with a small hand axe, and that pretty much tells you that this is rotten. Yeah, it'll still need to come down because it's a danger of being next to the ramp here, but it's not usable. Because current design ideas mean that we're working with 18-foot logs, currently that might change, but it makes far more sense to bring those logs down the hill by myself than to try and drag them up the hill. So the idea is to have a look at where the starting point is and see what we've got working downwards. See if I can find any materials from around here. Where are we at then? Well, it's Monday afternoon, late Monday afternoon, and some would have said, I'm kind of including myself a little bit in that the smart move would have been to have a day off today and relax and rest. However, after last night's trouble sleeping and thinking about what I'm doing here, today I've found some challenges ahead of me, and to be honest, I'd much rather know what those challenges are and be aware of them and be able to sort of plan for them than not. So challenge number one, I don't really want to cut anything other than damaged trees, wind-blown trees. That's fine, I've got a lot of those around. But challenge number two, they're not exactly next to the where I'm building, and they're 18-foot long. That is what I'm going to need, and for one person it's very, very difficult to move those around. In fact, I don't have an amazing method of moving those around. I know from trying to move those 20-foot ones that it's just a proper struggle on your own. So third challenge will be, if I can't get those moved, what's the alternative building method? I'm looking at something of using like 12 of the 18-foot logs at the moment. Now, I'm not saying that's the best method, that's just like the first one that I've thought of. So really the next thing to do is to, challenge number 4, look at alternative building methods for that landing. Tuesday. So this morning's been spent beavering away here at International GNAR HQ, or as my missus likes to call it, our house. I know what you're thinking. You're thinking, Ben, why would you drive to your local hardware store when you can take the steed? Well, I agree. So this is the steed. Please don't screenshot this and try and give away any prototype photos, but I like to call it modern bike technology redefined. The only downside of it, it's aluminium, steel is real. Right, to be honest with you, the whole I'll just pop to B&Q idea has worked about as well as an ashtray on a motorbike. Everything they've got in there it's all small, ickle. So it's just not up to doing the jobs that I want. Now luckily, obviously it would have involved a drive, but near where I drop my kids off for school, there's an agricultural supplies place, and they've got that's all made for farmers, and it's all made for like just do the job once and make sure it lasts. Well, that'll be the fun. Wednesday, so climb back up the hill again. Having had a bit of a think about this last night, I'm not really seeing a better option of getting the tools to and from the work area other than using the barrow. So let's have a look at what we've got in layer 1. We've got small axe, draw knife, wrecking bar, little hammer, big hammer, chisel, and some 2-stroke. That's layer 1. Layer 2 is kind of as straightforward and basic as chainsaw stuff, protective equipment, fuel, backpack, gloves. Done. Can we take a guess at who might have gotten all the way over to where he was working this morning and then realised he's left the chain oil in the car? Okay, it's Wednesday, 4:15. You might be asking yourself, how did a 41-year-old guy lift that heavy ass log up there by himself? Don't worry, I'm not judging, because I'm thinking exactly the same thing. I honestly had a moment there where it was quite stressful, and I really thought I was going to drop it on myself. And I just remember getting quite angry, letting out a bit. Next thing I know, I'm stood back off it and it's up there, so blacked out for a second there, not sure. Just got a bit cross with it. Anyway, it's there. Even though I'm fully aware of the issues that GoPros have, giving perspective, You know, GoPros just aren't that good at showing up the perspective. But in saying that, let's give you a walk along here and you can kind of see what's going on. I think the trick is not to fall down. I'm feeling a little bit wobbly, to be honest with you, because that log is heavy. So basically, I don't know if you can catch the end of the ramp there. That's where the starting ramp, the landing ramp's going to be. I'll just get you down to toes on the end. So, toes on the end, sweep you up. There's the landing ramp. Now, as I say, you never get a very good kind of perspective at this kind of thing from GoPro, but I'm kind of filming this bit just so that I can have a look at it and see what it looks like. But anyway, after that log, I'm pretty much spent. Before it does finally get dark in here, I just wanted to give you a bit of a side-on view. I hope that's showing up. Walk around it a little bit so you can kind of see what's going on. We're walking on the other side of this tree. Hopefully I'm pointing in the right direction. Well, that gives you some sort of idea of it. Again, its GoPro doesn't show up that well. Anyway, that's Wednesday. Let's kick Thursday's ass. Right folks, Thursday. So it's time to go back up that hill and get back to work. I've got to be honest with you, I am tired today. I'm feeling my age a bit. My arms ache. But still got lots to do, so I'm going to have to put that out of my mind for the moment and just kind of crack on. Last night I realised I'm going to have to do the landing in a two-stage build, which kind of means a three-stage transition. So the good news is the ground is already sloping away from the landing, so just the actual terra firma itself, that is on what could be a landing transition. However, coming off such a high drop, it's like a 6-foot drop, you don't really want to be landing to that shallow. So it's too much to lug all these logs around and just do a big giant ramp and then go to the land. So it's going to have to be shorter logs and do it in 2 stages of build and then use the land as well. So it'll be kind of like a 3-step transition down. We'll get over and show you a bit more what I mean. So why is the design changed of the landing ramp? Well, I threw this out on Facebook, on Instagram, this version here, and I quite like this version here with a level platform and then down the ramp. But I quickly realised that I've got to change that, and I'll explain that in a minute. But where we're at now is on a 3-stage, these are shorter logs with one laid across to kind of let the slope come down, and it ends up being in 3 stages. So you get one log down, rests on that one, a second, and then stage 3 being dirt. So it's a nice sort of transition on the way down without this flat table part and then down, and it should just be a much smoother landing, and it also means for 2 lengths of shorter logs for carrying as well. I'll show you why I couldn't go with this one in the end. I've just realised I haven't brought my big tape out with us. I've just got my normal one. So anyway, I've now put it on a rock on top of the first set of the landing. So we know that that's 13 feet. The tape's sat at what you would kind of call the middle of stage 2. This is providing the landing turns out like this. It's all well and good planning it, but I think that's pretty much where the middle of stage 2 is going to be. Fingers crossed. Anyway, so 13 feet from the lip to the rock, plus landing in the middle of stage 2 says 23 feet. That's, to that point there, that's a 36-foot hook. Now, yeah, it's 13 to 13 minimum. So yeah, it's one more foot than the gap jump over there. It's not that challenging, not asking a lot from you. But if you get confident and you really want to send it, you're sending a big old 30-foot flyer. Right, I've just realised that I might have gone like 3.5, 4 hours without filming anything. The reason for that is I've got, well, potentially got somebody coming tomorrow to give me a hand. So I've been doing a lot of cutting and dropping of some leaning trees today, and kind of cutting them to the lengths I need, because obviously tomorrow I want to utilise the potential for having 2 people there, and it'll be a lot easier to like lift and position things, and at least if I can make most of that, then come next week after the weekend there'll be less sort of fighting on with big old logs for me. But we are where we are, and I've got a lot of stuff moved. Got a bit of a new route planned after this, but I'll show you that later on as we get sorted out. And all we've got now is to get Friday sorted, and then it's into the weekend. It's Friday, so it's time to go back up the hill and get some more work done. It snowed a little bit last night and was certainly cold. Now I don't know why I'm saying that like it's a surprise. It's February in Cumbria. Of course it blooming snowed, but it does mean that it's cold today. However, there is another part to that as well. It's cold, but it's hard ground, and it seems nice and dry, so that'll do for me. I got a present in the post yesterday, and I'm really stoked about it. So it might seem strange, but let's talk about rakes for a second. One of these rakes is my rake that I've had for a little while, and it cost £7.99. One of these rakes is brand new. It's my rake though now, and it came as a present, but if you wanted to buy one, they're £80. One of these rakes is for DIY gardeners, and one of these rakes is for professional trail builders. One of them has a thin-ass metal handle that bends and snaps dead easy, and it goes, it's not even into a tapered shaft or anything, it just goes in. It's already been repaired with a bloody nail because they just come out, and it sucks. One of them has got a hickory shaft that is tapered into a steel head. What can I say apart from one of these rakes will be knackered and in the bin in 6 months' time, guaranteed, and one of them I'd take a good estimate at I'll be using in 5 years' time. So yeah, one was £8, one retails at £8, one retails at £80. One's for DIY gardening, one's for actual trail building. There's a definite difference between the two, but thank you so much, BTR, both Berth and Tam. This is just a beautiful piece of kit. The other thing is, it's not going to show, there's no way of showing this on camera, but it's got a really sturdy weight. It must be like about 3 kilograms or so. It's just tool porn. One of the other things about today that I don't know if I mentioned earlier in the week is that I got a phone call off Ed from Blackpool about a week ago, saying, "Oh, I'm free this Friday, do you want a hand?" I was like, "Well, yeah, totally." Now, I'm not exactly sure whether Ed will definitely turn up today. Now, if he doesn't, I'm not going to be annoyed at him, because frankly, he's coming all the way from Blackpool to lift heavy-ass logs in the wood. So, you know, it's not something that a lot of people would jump at. But if he doesn't make it up today, if he's got something else on, I'm kind of in trouble a little bit, because all the jobs that I've got for today are 2-man jobs. I really don't think I can lift those long lengths of logs that I cut yesterday on my own. So I'll have to see about that. Ed's just rang, he's on his way, he's going to be in about half an hour. Fair play to him. I made a very firm choice that this is what I wanted to do, so for somebody else to come and join in for the day, that's golden. So he'll be in about half an hour. Right folks, excuse my out of breathness. I've got Ed here today. Ed made the trip all the way from Blackpool. Last night I sorted out dropped a larch from just down there. That is your line through down off the ramp. We've just cut that one up to some workable lengths that we're going to have to move shortly. We had a couple of that I managed to get into this far, they're also cut to length. So the idea is while we've got 2 of us here, to get 3 of them up. Basically those are 2-man jobs. Well, I'm saying I can't, and I've stood on ones that I did do, but I don't want to do that again. So it's by myself, it's way easier if there's 2 people. So I'm just going to have a bite to eat and a quick drink, and we'll crack on with that. I did track walk yesterday morning, so for those of you that are interested in track conditions, this is Friday afternoon. It's been cold, so as you can probably hear, everything's pretty hard at the moment. I think it's going to be cold again tonight well, it's cold now, so it's probably going to be cold again tonight and keep it the same. Fingers crossed, weather's looking okay for the weekend, so track conditions are going to be good. So Friday afternoon, where are we at now? Well, we've had Ed over helping us out today, getting these 15 footers up, and this forms in the first part of the landing transition. Did I show you yesterday on the drawings of how it was going to be staged down in landings, and then we'll put logs across this way, some more woodwork downwards to strengthen it up, but these are just the basic logs in, the hard work that's difficult to do on your own. Let's walk you down a bit, because we have got where I've marked out with the rake, the new BTR Tough rake. I've marked out where the end of the dirt landing is going to get put in, so we're going to stand at the end of that, give you some perspective. So essentially, where the logs are, they're all going to get lats across them, and then dirt on top of those. It'll run down in almost like a dirt jump tranny, where it's a smooth curved transition landing, and then this part where I've scratched into the dirt here, this is all going to get manicured in, so it'll transition down from being logs and down into dirt. And if I hold you up a little bit, you should be able to see the top of the takeoff. I'll give you another look from the other side, from the top looking down. So I don't know if I said earlier, but I've started to make the way in. You can't see it right now, but that'll all become clearer as time goes on. I've got to watch what I'm doing walking across here, because not all the slats are on you just yet. So we'll get you towards the end. And again, standard GoPro fare. It's not going to show things up very well, but if we hover you over the top, you can see you can sort of, well, I can see how it trannies in, and to those 3 scratches in the dirt, that's where the manicured piece of ground's going to be. Yes, I don't know if it'll, well, in real life it looks quite a long way, but all that is allowing you options. So if you really want to take it quick and really boost it and send it off here, then there's got to be some landing for you to be able to do that. Alternatively, and this is the thing that's probably going to be the head game on it, that post is only 13 feet away. Just to shed some perspective on this, from this takeoff knuckle to the middle of that one there is 12 feet. So you're looking at jumping 12 inches longer, 1 foot. Now, I don't know if you're going to get to see, try and pan you across for a sideways view. You know what? I can barely see it, so I don't know if GoPro's going to pick it up. So I foolishly tried to show you from back there, and I don't think it's going to work. Again, you know, I'm well aware that we're dealing with GoPros, but hopefully this is a bit of a side-on shot that can, you know, things are starting to take shape now. You should be able to start to sort of see what we're looking at. If I move down this way a little bit, you'll be able to see how the transition creeps in with the landing. I don't know if that's even showing. You can see how it goes down. We'll get you a bit of a look around from round here, from round this side. Again, I don't know if that's even going to show. But yeah, I mean, it's not there yet, but it's kind of on its way there. Ed's trying to creep out a shot here, like he wasn't even here today, but he's been helping us out. I couldn't have lifted these buggers on my own. Shout out, Ed! Cheers, bud! I can see you creeping away. So yeah, guys, that was the week that was, and Still some work to do on this, but it's drawing ever closer and closer. It's actually starting to shape up and look like a landing now. I'm not going to lie, I am looking forward to the weekend. I'm pretty knackered, and being in the cabin and drinking coffee and chatting to you guys sounds like the perfect option for a couple of days for me, to be honest. So if you're popping over this weekend, weather's looking good, tracks are running well, and thanks very much for your time, and I'll see you shortly.